Did you ever think you'd get to 200 games, mate, honestly?
Oh no, mate, I was just happy to get the first one back in 1999, so yeah, I mean it's a long journey. I mean I remember going down to Subiaco Footy Club and all I wanted to do was get on the Colts list to train, you know, and it's a good journey.
Why do you think you've had longevity with the club?
Probably my passion and my competitive nature, I think, is what's kept me around.
So your attitude has been that I'll get the best out of me and I'll never be beaten?
Yeah, well, I never like to be beaten, but I like to give my all for the club and for me personally, you know, I guess that's something that comes from within, and yeah.
Does it make it extra special that it's at the one club, 200 games?
Yeah? I think it does. I mean, you know, I couldn't fathom what it'd be like being at another club, you know, because I've been here for 13 years, so yeah.
And does it feel like
about the future, Anthony?
Well, we've got a big game Saturday night, so that's the future there at the moment. Yeah, well, you do at this age, you've got to start looking into post-football and those sorts of things, so you definitely got to take that into account.
Has the club said whether you'd be offered another year?
We haven't spoken about that at all. Yeah, I'm just focusing on the football side of things, and that's how I like to keep it, really.
Would you like to play on that?
Something I'm going to weigh up at the end of the year, how the body's going and what the family thinks and so on, so it's sort of the usual cliche line, I guess, but yeah, we'll wait and see.
At this point in time, how is the body feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, it is, you know, it's a long season, you know, I think everyone's might be carrying a little niggle here and there, but it's about maintaining it and looking after yourself and doing all the little things that you need to do.
And the enjoyment of the game, do you still get that same buzz that you did?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy winning, I don't enjoy losing, so I think that's, yeah, probably the last month hasn't been as enjoyable, but I enjoy coming down to the club and walking through the doors every day, so that's the main thing, I think.
Some people are saying that if you do make the finals, which is sort of in the up for grabs anyway, that you might stagger in there and you won't be at your best. What do you guys think?
Oh, I would have thought that if we do, we've got a few players that have probably missed a chunk of the season, so they'll become back pretty fresh, you know, so mentally and physically, so that can give the team a lift. Yeah.
How hard is it to, when you get to August, okay, you're in a different situation because you're battling for a final spot, but does wear and tear really come into play come August, leading into the end of the season?
I think it does. I mean, like you're saying, you know, if you're in the finals hunt, I think that you sort of continue pushing on, you know, so you know where you're at, but I guess if you drop off and you're not in the finals, you might tend to start looking to next year.
Because I reckon some of the players look tired on the weekend. Would that be a fair indication, or were Carlton just too slick for you blokes?
It was fair to say we were outplayed on the weekend. Yeah, they were too good for us, so I guess that's an observer's opinion. I wasn't watching the game, just playing it, so... Yeah.
Did it give you a lift, did it give you a lift when you found out that Sydney had been rolled, that it had opened the door a bit wider perhaps for playing finals?
Yeah, personally very flat Saturday night after the game, and obviously Essendon had won, and then we got, seeing that Richmond got over Sydney, and that helps us, so there's no doubt about that.
How do you approach Saturday night? Most people are saying this is the one you have to win, or that's it. Is that how the player group see it?
Oh yeah, I mean for sure, it's a must. It's going to be a big game, and North Melbourne have been in good form, so you know it's pretty obvious that every game's a must-win from here on in.
It looks like Mundy will definitely play. Well, the coach said that, so that's going to give the place a lift.
Yeah, it's good to get him and Sandlands back in the last 2 weeks. Is you know they're in our leadership group, they're leaders of the club, and they're the people that you want out in the field.
Groves, just back onto your career, you've probably always played on the bigger. You probably would have been better as a third tall in the defence, but you've had to be or forced to be playing on the bigs. Tell us, who was your toughest opponent over those years?
Yeah, over the journey, I played on Michael Long I think in one of my first games, one of the first 5 games, and I just learnt so much off him, how unselfish he was as a player and the things he did for the team. But you know, I thought Matthew Richardson was pretty tough in his day. Like he was a little bit bigger than me, so yeah, it did give me a bit of a touch up that day. So.
How tough is that then, playing on bigger blokes?
Oh, you just try and back yourself in and use my attributes to try and win the contest or halve the contest. And yeah, you know, look at the players I played on over the years. Over the years, it's a fair sort of sheet of basically, you know, some superstars of the competition. So I've been pretty lucky to, you know, be able to keep the body up and running, to be able to, you know, do my best.
What have been some of your biggest highlights, Anthony?
I just I guess being drafted was, I was drafted on the rookie list and then promoted. Just actually being in the environment is a definite highlight. Playing finals football, haven't played enough. That's disappointing. But the highlights are just the general day-to-day being around a football club. Is if you know what it's like, it's a good place to be.
Anthony, when you and Luke McFarlane is also very close to 30, when you do finish up, who do you see taking your places as the premier defenders of the club?
Yeah, I mean, Stephen Silvani. Alex Silvani, he's shown, he can definitely handle AFL football, I think, and he's a terrific competitor. And also Peter Fox played his first game on the weekend, and he's only going to develop from there as well.
Were you pretty impressed with what you saw from him?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. We see each other on the training track, since November. So, what we got was what I expected, I guess. So I think he's been pretty good.
Mark spoke about needing some quicker players in the side. That was an issue. One guy that generally gives you that, Stephen Hill. How have you seen how he's been going for the last 4 or 5 weeks?
Well, I think that he gets a lot of attention. There's no doubt about that. And as a teammate of his, we've got to help him get some space and put some blocks on for him, so to say. So I think it's the team that can help him improve at whenever. Sorry.
Just back on your milestone, is it important that the club is really starting to build a bit of history now that it's been enough years and now a lot of players are reaching those sort of milestones?
Oh, it is important to have a history at the football club. I mean, being at some of the waffle clubs, you go into their change rooms and the history that they have there, and it's a special thing to have your name in the locker, and it's only filling up more and more at the moment at this club.
And seeing some of the young guys come through, have you found that rewarding to be able to pass on your knowledge?
Yeah, it is. You're sort of a bit of a mini coach at times, and a sort of assistant coach as well as playing. Because of the way you sort of pass on your knowledge and that. And, I enjoy that as well.
Post your career, do you see yourself going into coaching or a role
I'd
similar
like to stay involved in football. I'm not sure exactly what it'll be yet.
Who's been your greatest influence?
My family as a whole has been a big influence for me. My grandma, I guess some of the coaches, I've had some good coaches over the years. Alex Hamilton was my Colts coach and really stepped up from there. So.
What about in the AFL? Who do you think, has there been one individual, either a coach or somebody?
I'd say probably the players that I've looked up to. Firstly, when I first came down in the club, Shane Parker and Dale Kickett, they were the two I looked up to, and the likes of Troy Cook, Sean McManus, Peter Bell, Matthew Pavlich, they've sort of led the way for me as an example of not only on the field when it comes to football, but in life in general, and I think that's a big thing that I've taken out of it.